When a content creator risks everything for clout and cash, the downfall can be both spectacular and tragic. Jack Doherty, once a rising star, is now facing a harsh reality. His money is gone, his reputation is shattered, and his future looks uncertain. Jack Doherty was once a name synonymous with online energy and bold antics. Starting on platforms like YouTube and live streaming services, he quickly made waves with his daring stunts and unpredictable content. His ability to grab attention earned him a dedicated fan base, and as his popularity grew, so did his lifestyle. Jack's rise seemed unstoppable as he raked in sponsorship deals, ad revenue, and donations from viewers who couldn't get enough of his larger-than-life persona. Success came with perks, and Jack embraced them fully. From purchasing luxury cars to showing off lavish vacations, his wealth was on full display. He wasn't just living the dream, he was broadcasting it for all to see. Fans envied his flashy lifestyle, while critics questioned the sustainability of such rapid success. For a while, it looked like Jack had cracked the code to social media fame and fortune. Yet behind the scenes, cracks in the foundation were beginning to form. Jack's extravagant lifestyle meant his expenses were soaring, and his income was tied to staying relevant. The pressure to outdo himself led to riskier stunts and controversial behavior. The highs of his career brought fleeting satisfaction but came with growing consequences. By chasing bigger moments, Jack set himself on a path that made him both a star and a polarizing figure. His every move was scrutinized, and the stakes for each decision grew higher as the cost piled up. What began as a dream of financial freedom turned into a high-wire act with no safety net. Jack's financial unraveling didn't happen overnight. It began with the mounting cost of maintaining his image and escalated until it hit a breaking point. Jack's need for relevance soon pushed him into ventures that only deepened the chaos. For Jack Doherty, maintaining the illusion of a glamorous lifestyle wasn't just a choice, it was a necessity. As his fame skyrocketed, so did the expectations of his audience. Luxury cars, designer outfits, and extravagant parties became the hallmarks of his online persona. But what many viewers didn't realize was the immense financial burden that came with keeping up this facade. Jack's need to project success wasn't just about impressing fans, it was about staying relevant in a space where attention translates directly into income. Jack's primary source of revenue had long been his live streams on platforms like Kick. These streams allowed him to engage with his audience while securing lucrative sponsorships and ad deals. However, this dependency came with its risks. Kick's audience valued chaos and spectacle, pushing Jack to constantly outdo himself. Whether it was reckless stunts or controversial content, the pressure to deliver consistently escalated. Over time, the same antics that kept his audience entertained began to alienate potential brand partnerships, narrowing his income streams. Adding to his struggles was his reckless spending. Jack's monthly expenses reportedly ran into six figures, with much of it going toward maintaining his flashy image. Lavish purchases, including high-end vehicles and rented mansions, drained his finances. On top of this, Jack's investments into ventures like cryptocurrency and meme coins only worsened his situation. These ventures were often driven by hype rather than strategy, leading to significant losses. It was clear that his desire to chase quick profits came at the expense of long-term stability. As Jack's financial situation began to unravel, his desperation became more apparent. His content started to focus less on creativity and more on shock value. Behind the scenes, the cracks in his foundation were growing wider. The question wasn't if he'd face a downfall, but when. And just as things seemed dire, one specific turning point would further cement the downward spiral. The moment that changed everything for Jack Doherty's career came on a rainy day when a reckless decision to live stream while driving ended in disaster. Jack, distracted by his phone, lost control of his car on a public highway. The wet roads only amplified the danger, leading to a crash that left his cameraman seriously injured. The incident quickly went viral, with clips circulating online and garnering millions of views. While some of Jack's fans were quick to defend him, the backlash from the wider public was immediate and intense. Kick, the platform where Jack had built much of his income, took swift action. Known for its relatively lenient policies, even Kick couldn't overlook the severity of the situation. Jack's account was suspended indefinitely, cutting off one of his most vital revenue streams. Without access to his Kick audience, Jack's ability to monetize his content was severely hindered. His live streams, which once drew thousands of viewers and lucrative sponsorship deals, came to a screeching halt. Adding insult to injury was Adin Ross's public stance on the matter. As one of Kick's most prominent creators, Adin held significant influence over platform decisions. He made it clear that Jack's return was conditional, demanding an initial payment of $200,000, which was later raised to $300,000. Adin's bold move was a power play, knowing full well that Jack was unlikely to come up with such a sum. The suspension became more than just a punishment. It was a public spectacle that showcased Jack's diminishing leverage in the industry. The loss of Kick as a platform marked a turning point in Jack's financial struggles. With no way to directly engage his core audience, his income plummeted. The extravagant lifestyle he had maintained now seemed completely unsustainable without a steady stream of revenue. The suspension wasn't just a hit to his wallet, it was a blow to his already fragile reputation, leaving him scrambling for alternatives. While Jack tried to navigate his way out of this crisis, another financial gamble would only deepen his troubles. His Kick ban cutting off a major source of income, Jack Doherty turned to a riskier and more controversial strategy, promoting meme coins. Jack framed these ventures as a way for his audience to strike it rich alongside him, promising massive returns on investments. He hyped the coins across his social media, teasing that these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities would lead to exponential gains. His followers were urged to buy in quickly, with the narrative that hesitation meant missing out. The excitement Jack created was palpable, but the reality painted a very different picture. The meme coins Jack endorsed often lacked any real substance, and their value plummeted shortly after his promotions. For many fans who had trusted Jack, these ventures became financial disasters. Speculation began swirling that Jack was using these campaigns to line his own pockets at the expense of his audience, eroding what remained of his credibility. The backlash was swift. Online forums, social media platforms, and even his own comment sections became flooded with criticism. Fans accused Jack of exploiting their trust for personal gain, and skepticism about his motives grew. What once seemed like a loyal following began to fracture as more people questioned whether Jack cared about anything beyond his own financial survival. These desperate attempts to stay relevant and sustain his lifestyle only highlighted how far Jack had fallen from the heights of his earlier success. His pivot to promoting questionable investments not only failed to stabilize his income, but further tarnished his public image. As Jack faced mounting backlash, he sought ways to reignite the buzz around his name. What he did next showed just how far he was willing to go to keep the spotlight. Jack Doherty's desperate pursuit of attention reached a shocking low when a reckless decision turned into a viral disaster. While live streaming on a rainy highway, Jack was glued to his phone, completely disregarding the dangers of distracted driving. The livestream captured a harrowing moment when he lost control of his McLaren, narrowly avoiding a fatal collision but leaving his cameraman seriously injured. The footage quickly spread, racking up over 57 million views. The sheer number of views might seem like a triumph for any content creator, but the fallout told a different story. Public outrage erupted as viewers criticized Jack for his carelessness and disregard for safety. Many felt that this wasn't just an unfortunate mistake, but a reflection of his consistent recklessness, both online and offline. Critics pointed out how Jack's obsession with maintaining an image of wealth and excitement had driven him to take life-threatening risks, even when others' well-being was on the line. The incident also shone a spotlight on Jack's dwindling support system. While viral content usually boosts creators, this time the attention severely damaged his reputation. Sponsors distanced themselves, unwilling to associate with someone whose actions had caused real harm. For Jack, this crash didn't just dent his luxury car, it dealt a critical blow to his already fragile credibility. As the public grew more vocal in their condemnation, Jack found himself increasingly isolated. But rather than taking a step back to reassess his actions, he doubled down on generating controversy. What came next was yet another attempt to keep his name in the headlines, this time involving a move even more divisive. Jack Doherty's larger-than-life persona has always come with a hefty price tag, but one of his most substantial expenses has been the cost of personal security. Jack's reputation as a polarizing figure has made navigating public spaces without a bodyguard nearly impossible. He's become a magnet for confrontations, from heated arguments to physical altercations. Without professional protection, these encounters could escalate dangerously, as seen with other creators who've faced similar backlash. The cost of maintaining constant security is staggering. Professional bodyguards typically charge between $3,000 and $50,000 per month, depending on the level of protection required. For someone like Jack, who frequently moves between high-profile events and unpredictable public appearances, the expense easily leans toward the higher end. Beyond the bodyguard's salaries, additional costs like accommodations, travel expenses, and specialized equipment push these monthly expenses even higher. These security measures are just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to Jack's mounting financial strain. Combined with his other luxury habits such as high-end vehicles, designer wardrobes, and extravagant parties, the expenses quickly spiral into six figures every month. At one point, his income from kick and sponsorship deals could sustain this lifestyle, but without those reliable revenue streams, the weight of these costs has become unbearable. Jack's reliance on expensive security not only highlights his precarious situation, but also adds to the growing sense of urgency to find a new stable income source. With his financial safety net eroding, the pressure to maintain his image is pulling him deeper into desperation. His next move would involve tapping into the help of controversial figures, showing just how far he's willing to go to stay afloat. When Jack Doherty attempted to launch his streaming platform Party.com, it seemed like a bold step toward independence. The idea was to create a space where he could control his content, avoid platform restrictions, and potentially generate significant income. However, what looked like a calculated business move quickly became a cautionary tale of overreach and poor planning. The platform struggled right out of the gate. Technical issues plagued its launch, from glitchy interfaces to frequent crashes. On top of that, Party.com lacked a strong selling point to draw users from established platforms like Kick or Twitch. Without exclusive content or a clear reason to switch, the platform failed to gain traction. To make matters worse, Jack's tarnished reputation turned potential collaborators and sponsors away, further isolating the project. This misstep wasn't an isolated case. Jack had tried to launch other ventures, ranging from merchandise lines to quick profit schemes, all of which shared a common thread: a lack of long-term vision. Instead of building sustainable businesses, these projects leaned heavily on Jack's name recognition, which was already suffering from negative press and controversy. Each failed attempt not only drained his financial resources, but also chipped away at his credibility as a creator and entrepreneur. As the cost of these ventures piled up, so did Jack's desperation to recover his losses. His focus shifted toward high-risk schemes to make quick cash, showing just how much pressure he was under to maintain his extravagant lifestyle. But the deeper he dug, the harder it became to climb out of the financial and reputational hole he had created for himself. His next move would take him into even riskier territory, further alienating his remaining supporters. As Jack Doherty's financial and personal struggles became more public, comparisons to the infamous Island Boys were inevitable. The Island Boys were a cautionary tale of viral fame gone wrong. Two creators who enjoyed a brief moment of internet stardom, but quickly fell into financial ruin due to reckless spending and poor planning. Their downfall, which culminated in one of them being evicted and left homeless, eerily mirrored the trajectory Jack seemed to be on. Both Jack and the Island Boys built their initial fame on attention-grabbing antics that attracted viewers, but failed to establish any lasting value. For the Island Boys, their flashy lifestyle, expensive cars, jewelry, and parties ate through their income at an unsustainable rate. Jack followed a similar path, pouring his money into maintaining a luxurious image rather than building a stable foundation for the future. What made the comparison even more striking was how both parties turned to increasingly desperate measures to stay relevant. The Island Boys leaned into manufactured controversies and drama, while Jack promoted risky meme coins and launched ill-conceived projects like Party.com. Both approaches alienated their fan bases and tarnished their reputations. The core issue for both Jack and the Island Boys was their inability to scale back their lifestyles when their income streams began to dwindle. The allure of fame and fortune blinded them to the importance of financial planning. As a result, they spent beyond their means, assuming the money would keep flowing indefinitely. Jack's situation, much like the Island Boys, serves as a stark reminder of the pitfalls of short-term thinking in a career fueled by fleeting internet fame. His inability to adapt and stabilize his finances put him on a path that many had already seen play out before. But Jack wasn't done yet. His next move would push him even further into controversy, solidifying his reputation as a creator in freefall. As Jack Doherty's financial struggles deepened, his behavior began to alienate him from the very community that once helped build his career. Over time, Jack developed a reputation for impulsiveness and self-serving actions, leading to numerous falling outs with key figures in the streaming world. What once seemed like strategic collaborations and partnerships quickly dissolved as Jack's decisions became more erratic. One of the most glaring examples was his deteriorating relationship with Aiden Ross. The escalating tension between the two reached a breaking point when Aiden publicly demanded exorbitant fees for Jack's reinstatement on Kick, raising the price from $200,000 to $300,000. While some saw this as Aiden taking advantage of Jack's desperate position, others viewed it as a direct reflection of how little goodwill Jack had left. This fractured relationship symbolized a larger pattern of burned bridges that left Jack isolated. Other streamers, too, became wary of working with Jack due to his growing reputation as unreliable and overly dramatic. His promotion of dubious meme coins and his reckless stunts only exacerbated the mistrust, making him a polarizing figure even within an industry that thrives on controversy. For many creators, the risk of being associated with Jack outweighed any potential benefit, leaving him cut off from collaborations that could have helped reignite his career. The consequences of these strained relationships went beyond professional isolation. With fewer allies in the community, Jack's opportunities to secure sponsorships, cross-promotions, or even advice from peers dwindled. The streaming world thrives on connections, and without them, Jack found himself navigating an increasingly unforgiving landscape alone. But even as he burned bridges and alienated potential supporters, Jack wasn't ready to give up. In his next move, he would double down on his need for attention in a way that left everyone questioning his priority. Jack Doherty's situation paints a grim picture of what happens when rapid success is met with reckless decisions. If he doesn't take decisive action to address his financial and reputational issues, the road ahead could lead to complete ruin. Jack's extravagant lifestyle, reliance on fleeting trends, and tarnished relationships have left him in a precarious position where each misstep seems to push him closer to disaster. Rebuilding his brand won't be easy. Jack faces the daunting challenge of regaining public trust while finding a stable and sustainable source of income. His past controversies and failed ventures make it difficult for him to pivot into new opportunities without skepticism from potential collaborators and sponsors. Any attempt at a fresh start would require a significant rebranding effort, transparency about his intentions, and a shift away from the drama and excess that defined his rise to fame. Financial stability will be another uphill battle. Jack's mounting expenses, coupled with limited earning potential, create a vicious cycle that's hard to escape. Downsizing his lifestyle and seeking professional financial guidance could be the first steps toward rebuilding, but doing so would mean letting go of the image he has spent years cultivating. For others watching Jack's story unfold, it serves as a stark reminder of the importance of planning for the future and living within one's means. Fame and wealth can disappear as quickly as they arrive, and relying on volatile platforms or controversial actions for success is a gamble few can afford to take. But as Jack continues to fight for relevance, his next move could either solidify his downfall or offer a surprising twist in his story. What he does next might be the difference between fading into obscurity or defying the odds. If you thought these were crazy, you won't want to miss what happens in this next video.